today we are going to cover a new type of agent which we have coming out in the next release of AgentUp. This is going to be an adaptive agent, possibly autonomous agent. We could look at the taxonomy of agents. I'm going to touch upon that briefly. I got mind blown, but really this isn't going to be mind blowing. When you see the demo, it's going to seem pretty basic. But keep in mind, we've been building a lot of the fundamentals first. We're just starting to get to the stage now where you can see this wiggle. We can do a demo, but we spent a lot of time getting the fundamentals of the platform in place. So agents, they have this taxonomy that's often banded around. And previously we had a reactive agent. So it's pretty much a one-shot operation. Prompt goes in, the LLM generates an output. It might call some tools to get some context on its environment. It will come back with an answer, and that's it, job done, finished. A reactive or adaptive agent, the request comes in, and then it will typically plan. It'll have a planning phase where it will decompose into tasks. Those tasks will then be iterated over until it reaches a goal. Now, that is an undetermined path that the agent will take. You don't know which tools it will choose to use. You don't know how many iterations it would cost to perform that. And it is autonomous. It's, it's goal driven and it's autonomous. It will find its own path to reach that goal. So let's get into it. I don't want to spend too much time talking about agents, but it's worth us all getting on the same page. So we are going to run AgentUp init, which creates a new agent. And I'm going to call this calendar agent. Not particularly exciting. And you'll notice folks that have been using Up, there's a new folks that have been using AgentUp. You'll notice there is a new menu type that we have here. So we are going to select an iterative self-directed multi-turn loop agent. You can limit the amount of iterations. This is quite important because, obviously tokens cost money, okay, especially if it's a frontier model. Generally for a very early first release of this multi-agent is pretty proficient. It's quite good. We don't see it getting stuck in multiple tool calls like a lot of the frameworks out there. A lot of agents will become grounded, okay, or they will just keep thrashing over and over and over. Whereas ours is pretty good. We built in quite a few sort of anti-footgun measures. So the agent becomes lodged in a certain path, then there are conditions that will come back that will induce it to move on. Probably not using the right technical language there, but there you go. So memory, yes, an agent who can't remember is not much use. And then we're going to select specific features that we need. So we want authentication, state manager, AI provider, MCP, and yeah, let's grab some deployment specifics as well. So I'm going to use file because this is a demo. I'm going to go for all the simple options, API key, not the most secure, but it'll get us up and running quickly. Yeah, let's get some Docker files. So we go for GH container registry.io. Yeah, why not some Helm charts? Let's call it the AgentUp namespace. We're going to go for OpenAI, and yes, we want to stream an agent. So that's it. Our agent is built. We've got everything that we need there. And we can come in. We can inspect our agent. So the main one that we want to look at here is the AgentUp file. Okay, so I'm just going to open that in Z. And again, for those that have been using AgentUp to date, some of this will be familiar, but there are these new sections now where we have an agent type. So there's currently two agents, a reactive and an iterative. There will be more over time. Now, what I'm going to do is to save you watching me type, because it's not pretty. It scares young children away. I am going to do a bit of copy pasta from one that I baked earlier. So I need model context protocol. So we're going to use a Google Calendar and a little rinky-dink local script that I have for weather. I'm going to put those in. And we are also going to need some scopes. So again, for those of you that are new, scopes are a way of enforcing granular controls around what a model is allowed to use within the context of a tool or an MCP server. Again, a lot of frameworks will just give you unfettered access, and that's generally where bad things can happen. Right, okay, so let me just put in our scopes. I think the last but not least what I'll need is a system prompt. So there's the system prompt. Okay, so you would have seen that you would have seen that, just from a bit of config, you got a lot of customization. We've built a very specifically purposed agent here. Now, if you wanted to do customization, then there's a full plugin framework, where you can develop whatever your heart desires. And we're actually going to see that now. So we're going to install the Brave plugin so that we've got an internet a tool that can access the internet. So AgentUp Brave. Now you would have noticed I'm pulling that straight in with pip because plugins in AgentUp are entry points. Okay, and so they are separate to the core, so you can maintain them in your own repository, have your own CI, and then you can pin your plugins as dependencies in AgentUp, which works really well then because he's got nice sort of portable, self-contained type entities really. Right, so we have now installed AgentUp Brave. So what I want to do is let's just check that's there. It is. Okay, there you go. So it's a pretty simple one. Search internet, and you'll see there's a required scope there. So what I'm going to do is I need to add that. So you'll notice it's available, but it's not added as yet. So add it. We shall add it. AgentUp plugin sync. Okay, and that is in there now. So you can see we've got a new plugin here, Brave Search. And I should probably check that we've got API read, API admin. Let's change that to read. I don't know if something else needed admin. I don't believe so, but we'll put it in just in case. Right, so we should be good to go now. Yeah, so let's start our agent. So AgentUp run. Again, let's role play. Imagine you've cloned a repo. One of your, you've got all these different agents that you manage, a whole kind of squad of agents, and you want to work on a particular agent. You can pull it down, clone, run. It's there. Okay, so here we go. You can see it's loaded an MCP server, and the actual bit of shenanigans with tokens here. I'm currently storing the Google Calendar token locally. You'd probably use a service account or some sort of hardware backend if you really wanted to go tight on security. Now, I'm just scanning the tools that we have. Yeah, we got everything there. Okay. We have search internet. Right, okay, we should be good to go. So let's come across to the browser. So coincidentally, we are using Brave. And I should have that here. AgentUp Brave. Okay, so there's no README. I'm not sure why that is. But AgentUp Brave uses the Brave API to query the internet. Okay, so now what we are going to do is just one more thing I need to do that I've forgotten. As you can see, I'm not very scripted and polished with my demos. You're getting it real, so things may break. Okay, let's put our key in. Okay, and you can notice that our tools are available to view. The reason for this is AgentUp uses the A2A protocol. So all of the tools in MCP servers are exposed as skills. So these are discoverable. They're advertised to other agents. So the idea might be that an agent requires some sort of ability to engage with an agent to book a calendar entry. Okay, so you can imagine this is my agent, my personal agent. It's got my calendars and various systems that I use in my personal life, and an agent might want to book something with me. You know, it might want to book a free spot, essentially a meeting, so it can engage with my agent. That is the thinking. Right, so we are now ready to go. So here's probably where it will start to go wrong. Okay, so let's think we've got a weather agent, we've got a calendar, and we can search the internet. So let's start with what is my availability on the, where are we, 27th of August, so Monday would be the 1st of September. Yeah, that should do it. Let's try that. Okay, so right away it will start calling functions. I'm using OpenAI Mini, which is not very fast with function calling, but you can see it's just establishing the current time. It's called Get Free Busy. I think it's already got details of my calendar, so check the availability for September the 1st, 2025, and confirm that there are no scheduled events for that day. So Billy no mates, essentially. I've got nothing on that day. So what we could do now is I could decide that, let's imagine I didn't live in Chippenham, Wiltshire. I lived in Huntington, I think it's Huntington Beach. So how is the weather in Huntington, CA Beach? Okay. So that should query the weather system It's gonna call the function, hopefully any second now. I attempted to retrieve the weather forecast, but I was unable to access the weather tools, therefore I could not. Okay, what has happened there? Interesting. I'm sure I've screwed up somewhere. Alerts read, weather read. Oh, I don't have an... Yeah, I do have alerts read. Okay, I'm not sure why that is. I'm sure I've probably missed something. I've not configured something correctly. So let's try this. How is the surfing conditions on Huntington Beach? Cannot spell, look at this. Condition on the 1st of September. I'm typing blind here because my camera's in the way. Now this should hopefully call Brave. Oh, okay, so it's got the weather. All right, so it's decided it's going to call the weather now. Okay. Right, I've assessed the surfing conditions for Huntington Beach. So September the 1st, 2025. The forecast indicates favourable conditions with a high temperature of 74 Fahrenheit, moderate wind speeds of 5 to 15 miles per hour from the west, and mostly sunny weather, making it a good day for surfing. Well, there we go. So we know I've got a day free, surf's good, no brainer. Let's book it. So book the morning of the 1st of September and mark the subject as surfing. I'm absolutely typing blind because my camera's right in the way. Also invite lukehines@gmail.com. So that's my personal email. So if there's a typo, my apologies. My camera is right in the way. So we will try that. And oh, looks like I've done okay. Okay, Surin. So we're not going surfing, we're going Surin. Surin, I guess that's kind of catering to the upper class. Hello, sir. Would you require some Surin today? So I've successfully created a calendar event titled Surin for the September the 1st, 2025 from 8 a.m. till 10 a.m. PDP. Okay, so what I will do now is I'll come across to my calendar. Hopefully there's nothing private there. Let's move quickly. The 1st. There we go, surfing. Right, interestingly, it's done it from 4 to 6 p.m. because that's UK time and it worked in PDP. It must have assumed, I guess it's assuming, rightly so, that if I'm, swanning off to Huntington Beach on Monday, I must already be in that part of the world. So that's kind of forgivable, really. Right, so there we go. That wraps it up. Now, I imagine you're not going, well, I've kind of seen this before. Yeah, okay, this is not exactly, a whoopie-doop demo. But keep in mind, how quickly did we build this? How long would it have taken to have done that with a framework? So we were very, very quickly able to prototype this particular agent type, okay, and it to be discoverable, it to have security, all of the trappings, caching, retry handlers, state management, etc., conforming to an open standard of A2A, and it's ready to go. Now, if you wanted to get into customization and writing your own code, you can do. We've got a full set of interfaces where there's a plugin system that you can tap straight into the core part of AgentUp, and you can inherit all of these wonderful middleware options.